And welcome back. So in my continuing journey to get this small PCB working, I found out that I need to understand what we mean by the I2c address of anything plugged into what we call the I2c bus. Now our little OLED screen down here is connected to the IC2 bus of our chip. But if we look on the rear of the screen, unfortunately there is no information on the back. So if we had purchased a screen, say from Adafruit, on the back would have been printed an address. Now because we don't know what the address is, we need to load a sketch into our board to tell us what our address is of the sketch. So I found this code from the Arduino playground, and we're going to load it and see what happens, because having done some research I knew I had to find out what the address is of our board. So talking of boards, we're going to make sure we've selected the right board. So you're going to go to Tools, drop down, you would go click on Board, then Board Manager, scroll down into the ESP8266 section here, scroll down and click on it's D1 Mini. So we've clicked on WeMust D1R1, and I've just kept all the settings the same because at the moment I don't understand what they're all doing, to be honest, and that's part of my journey. So I do know that we need to make sure we connect to the right port, and at the moment we only have, when we click on ports, port 1 and 3, and I know my Windows PC is using ports 1 and 3 for something else. So if we plug our board in to the power, so I'm plugging in the USB and the USB is plugged into the computer. Just need to click out of this, so, and then click back in, and you can see now COM6 has magically appeared. So that is the COM port that the USB is connected to our computers. We need to select COM6. We've obviously selected the board, so now we're going to upload the sketch, and by uploading the sketch we use this little white arrow here pointing to the right, and that should upload our sketch. So let's click to the right. Down here now it's saying compiling sketch. That's very fast. It's connecting, and this is always good to see, and this means the code is being uploaded. Now we go back up to the top to here, Tools, click on Tools, Serial Monitor. We're connected to COM6. Make sure here is 9600. Now that I wasn't expecting, so I thought, what have I done wrong? Because it is normally user error. So I went back to the internet, and then I looked at some information which was sent to me, which was on Banggood website where I purchased the board from. So let me just open the file, and we are going to show. I'm going to show you what I found. So I found this information, and when I first opened it I thought, oh my gosh, what am I looking at? But then I sat down and looked through it and worked out. This is obviously a circuit diagram of our PCB board. This is the PCB here, the OLED, and here is the little heat and humidity sensor. So if we look at the OLED screen, it clearly says here SCL and SDA, and I know those are two things that are required to understand when we're connecting to the I2c bus. And it easily says here, once you know what you're looking for, SCL and SDA are connecting to GPIO 14 and GPIO 2 respectively. Then if we go down here and look at the chip, it also says GPIO 2, SDA, so that matches up with the information here, and GPI 14 here is SCR. So I thought, magic, okay. So then what I did, I thought, right, let's look at the chip. This is a breakout board for the WeMOS D1 chip. And it says here that SCL and SDA are connected to GPIO 5 and 4. So I thought, that's my problem. That the board information is thinking that our SCL and SDA are connected to these pins. But our printed circuit board is connected differently. So I thought, right, all I've got to do now is find out how to tell the code, instead of looking at GPIO 5 and 4, to look at the other two pins that we just saw on the circuit diagram. So with a bit of research, let me just find the line I added. I added this line. Now, I had it commented out because having these lines in front, these slashes in front of the line, makes the command into a comment. So I'm just going to delete the lines, and you can see it's now gone red. So that means the command is still active. So for this wire library up here, which is a standard library within the Arduino IDE environment, we have to write this command, y begins 2,14, which tells the library, so my understanding is it's telling the library to look at pins 2 and 14 respectively to get the SDA and SCL information. So now we've uncommented this line, I'm going to re-upload. So I'm going back up here to the right hand arrow, going to press the right hand arrow, says down here compiling, connected to COM6, it's writing the information to the chip. Our little LED is flashing on the chip saying that we've got information. Now we're going to go back up to the top for tools, serial monitor, COM6, make sure on 9600. Magic! It's now telling me it's found one device at address 0 small x 3 capital C, and that is the information that I need to make the screen accessible for me to write code to it. So I'm now really excited because with that little bit of information in my next video, I'm going to be writing code to the screen, and then in a couple of videos time we're actually going to get the humidity and temperature sensor plugged into the board and get some data of temperature and humidity, strangely enough, written to the screen. But I wanted to understand how we write information to the screen before I went on further, because I'm learning slowly, and it's important to understand these things rather than just load someone's code, you get it working, and then it works. But when things go wrong, you need to understand a bit more about the code. So join me in my next video where I'm going to be writing some text to our screen, and I'm so happy that I now know what to do to accomplish that task. So this is now Andy signing out. Join me in the next one. Have a good afternoon. Cheers for now.